Welcome to today's video, where we dive into an unbelievable story about how a regular grocery shopping trip turned into a nightmare encounter with a stranger. Strap in as we unravel the details of this bizarre and harrowing experience someone just posted online. I've stumbled upon this subreddit not too long ago, but reading some of these stories has reminded me of an encounter I had about 7 years ago. I was keeping a very detailed diary at that point, trauma therapy related, so I have all the details logged as well as all the info I got afterwards. A little bit of background is in order here. I grew up in a very abusive household, berating, gaslighting, emotional blackmailing, hitting, screaming, were all on daily basis for the first 23 years of my life, until I have finally saved up enough money and mustered enough courage to leave that hellhole of a place. I have moved to a different town, about 2 hours by train, found myself a small apartment and a quiet job as an office assistant. I have also started therapy as soon as I settled in to become more of a person instead of a big pile of poo. My parents made me believe I was. Now, unpacking all the baggage wasn't easy, and in the first 2 years of therapy, I was a wreck. High functioning, but still a wreck. I was diagnosed with CPTSD, depression, anxiety, and a couple other things on top. I was fortunate enough to have such understanding colleagues and at least didn't have to worry about my job or income on top of everything. With that out of the way, let's get to the actual encounter. It was about 10 months after my move. One Saturday, after a really long crying episode, I went to the fridge to find out it was empty, save for a lone pickle in a jar. And I needed to go get some groceries if I don't want to live on crackers and pickle water. I totally wasn't in any shape to go anywhere where there might be other people. But it was my fault for postponing the trip for so long. So I have just pushed myself to get dressed, brush my teeth and hair, grab a shopping basket and go to the nearest supermarket, which was incidentally the same chain I was working in part and full time when I was still living with my parents in the other town. Which really wasn't surprising since the chain is in like every bigger town. So I walk into the shop, already shaking and anxious and trying to attract any attention to myself whatsoever. I grab a bit of produce, carton of milk, several packets of ham and chess, some yogurt. I am almost done, just a bag of sugar, some pasta and ketchup, and I can bolt to the register. I am telling myself when someone taps me on the shoulder and I am immediately triggered, meaning most of my systems shut down in order not to do something stupid. I slowly turn around to see an angry-looking woman that could be my mother, which is acting as another trigger, nervously tapping her foot on the floor. Can I, help you? I manage to get out through the fog because my polite system stays operational at all times. About time you noticed me. I've been talking to you for about 3 damn minutes by now. Where is that coffee that is supposed to be on sale? It takes me a while to process what she was saying and formulate and answer. I don't know. I don't drink coffee. What do you mean you don't drink coffee? I didn't ask you to drink it, you dimwit. I asked you where I can buy it. At this point, the lady is practically screaming at me, at which point I start to back away from her, and then everything goes blank. The next thing I knew, I was staring at a hospital ceiling with a throbbing pain at the back of my head, and a nurse leaning over me asking me how I am feeling, to which I am asking her what day and time it is, and what the hell happened. She frowns and says, "It's Sunday 8 p.m, and apparently you hit that shelf pretty hard." I just let myself fall asleep again, because I seriously wasn't in any shape to think straight at that point. On Monday, my therapist came, helped me call my workplace, since I definitely wasn't coming to work for a couple days. Then 2 police officers came in to take my testimony and ask if I want to press charges, which has taken me aback. Like me suing someone? For what? Apparently, after I started backing away from the woman, I shut down for good and started frantically pleading with her to please not hurt me, while she continued to scream and close in on me, until I could not step back any further, at which point she got so upset she grabbed my shirt and yanked me to her to be close to my face, to which I have instinctively reacted by pushing her away with as much force as I could. Since she didn't expect retaliation, she lost her balance, let go of my shirt, and and we both went backwards. She has landed on the tile floor, bruising her butt, while I hit the shelf behind me, head first. The security guard and one of the employees got there in about the same moment, so they saw us fight and fall. The security guy went to help the Karen, still screaming on top of her lungs that she wants me fired for being rude, while I was curled up on the floor, hands around my bleeding head, crying and promising, "I'll be good, just don't hurt me anymore." Anyway, police and paramedics came. Officers scooped up Karen after seeing the camera footage, while paramedics scooped up me and got me to the hospital with a fine brain concussion. It has turned out that the Karen was originally from the same town as me and saw me working at the supermarket there regularly. So, when she happened to be in a different town, it didn't occur to her that I am not working in that particular store. And since she was somehow acquainted with my mother, who most likely told what a piece of I am, she treated me accordingly. Or at least that's my conclusion. To this day, I am not aware on any other interaction between us than this. I ended up pressing the charges after consulting my therapist. I think Karen got charged with assault, destroying property, and something I don't really remember, and apparently didn't bother writing down, and ended up in jail for 2 years, since I've got head injury, and my lawyer didn't miss the opportunity. Do throw in my mental health state as well. I didn't set foot in that supermarket for at least a year afterwards, just bought a new shopping basket and went elsewhere. When I eventually did go back, I ran into that employee that was there during the incident, and they told me a couple details that the police and doctors omitted, like the part where I was crying and begging on the floor. I've had a couple more encounters with Karens after that in various places, but by that time, I was fortunately way better off mentally and never broke down like that again in public. Which is also why I'm able to write about this now, at least anonymously, like this. Hope you found the story we shared today as wild as we did. Remember to take care with strangers. You never know when a simple misunderstanding could escalate. See you in the next one, and don't forget to stay safe out there.